Welcome back, everyone, to another incredible episode of Chat with Dan here. For today, what can I say? We are already having an incredible, super day. Definitely the highlight of the week because she's back. The incredible, the amazing, the badass, the superstar, the one and only, the incredible Nohémie. Nohémie, how are you today?
Very good. I love the way you pronounce my name. It's a nice change.
Absolutely.
I always hear Nohémie, Nohai, but I know you get it because you speak Spanish.
It is here. I like that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
It has happened a few times every now and then when I interview someone who is from another country and their name is kind of a little bit challenging, especially if they're like from Eastern Europe,
Right.
And then I'm like, how am I gonna pronounce that? And it has happened a few times that I'm pronouncing it, and then they interrupt. They will be like, no, it's not pronounced like that. It's pronounced this way, and I'm like,
Well,
it happens.
no, you did it perfectly for mine.
You. So yeah, welcome to the show. It is incredible and amazing to have you back here. As I was saying before, definitely the highlight of the week. Now, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow, helps a lot. But also on the description below, you're gonna find all of Nohémie's social media. Let's follow her. By this point, you should know why she's super badass. If not, then I'm pretty sure that with this conversation, you're gonna realize why she's super badass, right? Now, without further more, let's jump in.
Thank you.
So, on a previous episode, we spoke about, how you're like a little bit about yourself, right? Like how your career started, things, challenges that you had at first, things like that, right? But for today, it's a totally new activity. For today, I just have a few questions about what do you think the whole entertainment industry would be in the next 10 years? Now, I want to start this conversation by throwing out the first question, which is, with the rise of streaming platforms and on-demand content, how do you foresee the future of traditional cinema over the next 10 years? Hit it.
Over the next 10 years, you know what? I think it's going to be pretty similar to right now. I think we've kind of already won the battle of like AI replacing the actors and stuff. We had this huge strike like a year ago. Everyone was fearing to be replaced with actors and with robots basically. But I think we kind of got heard, and so I'm not really worried about that anymore. I think it's going to be very much the same, probably a lot more stuff, a lot more content. There's a lot more platforms these days. It's crazy. I can't even keep up. Like, I know Amazon, Netflix, Disney, that's the three that I have, but I know there's so many more. I think it's just going to be a lot more content. And what is going to be the content? I don't know. This is a bit like, not scary, but we'll see what the tendency in the world is. But yeah, I think it's going to be a lot more of, especially that we do like remote things right now. People are more at home and they just watch TV a lot more. So there's a lot more demand. So yeah, I think it's just going to be the same, but a lot more.
Couldn't agree more with that. True.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you look 10 years ago, it has changed a little bit, but not that much.
Totally. Back then we used to go to Blockbuster.
10 years ago? 10 years ago was 20. Yeah, that's right. 2014. Yeah. We used to rent DVDs.
It was, Netflix was on the rise, but still, you could go to a video center, Blockbuster, things like that, get a film to. I think back then people were still buying like actual physical films on it, Today that, as you were mentioning, everyone has like a streaming platform. You got HBO, you got Universal, and it sometimes pisses me off because when I want to watch a film that, for example, if the production or anything was Universal, I need to download, Universal Plus or whatever they had, or if it is Warner, I need to be sure that it goes for HBO or Disney, things like that. So it's kind of a little bit confusing, but
yeah.
But yeah.
What I don't like though is like right now it's so like if you want to go see a movie in theater, like 2 weeks later it's on some platform, so you can just rent it from your house.
Yeah.
I get that it's very convenient, but I don't like that it like not a lot of people go to the cinema anymore, and it just takes away like the whole experience of going to see a movie in the theater. So
Totally.
there's definitely some pros and cons, but personally, I like to go to the theater. I like the experience. I like the big screen. So I think like in 10 years from now, and I hope there's still going to be some cinemas out there.
Yeah, I think that for the whole experience, I think cinemas will still be on. I mean, we saw it back when Barbie was released, that everyone was dressed, everyone was dressed with pink, things
Right.
like that, or with Oppenheimer that people wanted to see like on IMAX, so they can have like the whole experience to it. So I think that for the experience, cinemas might still, I mean, they're gonna definitely stick. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
maybe, but only for specific films, or at least people are gonna be kind of a more select, more like picky to it, to be like,
More
okay,
selective.
if I'm gonna go to the cinemas to watch what film, I mean, because let's be honest too, it's expensive, as
Yeah.
as back then. I mean, right
Yeah.
now it's a lot more expensive, and it's true that
$25. Yeah.
it's crazy. And of course they added things like you can have drinks to it, or you can have dinner to it, which is, it's great. So, but that includes with the whole experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
So definitely, yeah. I think that for the experience, cinemas will stay around, but maybe not so many cinemas will stay. You know what I mean? Maybe just a
Mm-hmm.
few in some cities, and
Mm-hmm.
that's it. So yeah.
Yeah. Not as casual.
Tell me, when was the last time you went to the movies, and which film did you saw?
I went last time was August, end of August. I went to see It Ends With Us.
Oh, yeah. How was that film, by the way?
I loved it. I went twice. Yeah, I
Interesting.
loved it.
Okay, fair
Loved the
enough.
acting. I love the story. I was definitely not expecting that, but when I like a movie so much, I just go and see it again. I look at different things.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
What about
that's
you?
the last film. Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. Actually, last film was Deadpool and
Oh,
Wolverine.
there you go. So
Yeah.
this summer.
That was
Yeah.
the last one, and I watched it 3 times. Yeah, I went to the
In the
cinemas.
theater?
Uh-huh.
There
Yeah,
you go.
one was with some coworkers. The second was with my family, and the third one was with a friend of mine that he was like, "Have you seen Deadpool?" And I was like, "Yeah." What about you? No, but nobody wants to see it. I was like, I mean, I already saw it twice. I'm in. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
I didn't see it. I guess it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good, good superhero film, so I did enjoy it. Plus Ryan Reynolds, I mean, he's definitely on my list for favorite actors for sure.
Right.
Um, and that is one of the things that I do enjoy whenever they are presenting a film, when the actor really takes care of the character he or she is presenting to it, and you can tell instantly. So,
Mhm.
yeah, I did enjoy that one for sure.
Nice. Nice. I'll put it on my list.
Sounds like a plan. Actually, on the 12th of November, should be on Disney Plus. Just saying.
Oh, nice. Here you go.
And all right. So moving on to my next question here. Tell me, how do you think advancements in technology like deepfake AI and virtual reality will influence the acting profession?
Will influence it? I hope it doesn't at all. Um, I don't think it will influence anything actually. Yeah, because I think like I said, like there's a law that just passed that they can't use AI for like background actors and stuff like that. Um, I think AI will influence a lot more like marketing and like social media, which it already has. Like you can do so much things with AI if you have a business or like creating reels and stuff like that. But for acting, I don't think it will. I don't see it right now, and hopefully stay like that.
Yeah, I mean it's tricky, right? The fact that knowing that, I mean, that at some point AI can take, yeah, like the AI can take like a full, basically can take your personality for you to act or deliver a specific message that perhaps the real you doesn't support at all. You know what I mean? Or that they will
Yeah,
use your image for things like that. I mean, it's of course it's tricky, but
yeah. Like I've seen that like on social media a lot. Like I've seen like videos like Tom Cruise or like actors that are being kind of targeted like that. But for like a movie, like a completely AI movie made, um, I don't think we're there yet.
Mm.
And hopefully not. Like I hope people would have less interest to go see like an AI movie made than like real actors. Um, yeah,
I mean, it's interesting to see how the whole thing might be advancing. I mean, right now, as you were saying, is not that much of a super advanced, but at some point might be, and we'll see what happens. But I'm positive about the. I mean, I'm super positive because of this idea that perhaps at some point they will release like a film based with actors that passed away to put it back, put them back on film, and maybe people will love it, sure. But
mm,
I'm super sure that that's gonna be just as one time, two times maybe, and then people are gonna be like, you know what, yeah, but I want to see real people now. It's great, I love it,
yeah,
but show me real people, because at the end I do think, and that is like the whole beauty about arts in general, the fact that you can get related either for a song made by a person, or a play, or a movie, or whatever, like a script or a book, because you
yeah,
want to you want to have this connection to it, you want to feel this kind of um this feeling of related, of being related to that somehow. And let's
of
be
course.
honest, you can't do that with an AI. So
No, 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 no. I get what you mean though. Like perhaps we're bringing back like some actors that passed away and stuff like that. People would like that. But to use it like in the opposite way, I personally wouldn't be into it. And like you said, there's so much like more realness into like someone's when you have a talk to someone, or when you see someone acting, than just AI. So yeah, hopefully stays like that.
we'll see what happens. I like it.
Yeah.
Moving on here. Tell me, do you anticipate a shift in the type of stories and narratives that will be popular or prioritized in the next decade?
Well, definitely. I in the next decade, I think there's going to be a lot more like transgenders stories stuff. Like I don't even know how they call that, but this trend of like not identifying to anything. Um, I think there's going to be a lot more of that, the stories to tell like that. I already see that. Yeah, that's the yeah. That's the
Fair
only thing
enough.
that I can see.
I'll
I see
take
a
it.
trend already going in that direction.
And
A lot more queer stuff.
mm,
Gay, lesbian, neutral. How do you call these people? Transgender? Like someone who doesn't identify with like a male or a female. Maybe we
I,
shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't talk of that.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, I'm confused, and
Right.
not to be rude or anything, I mean, whoever who is either watching or listen to it, I mean, but I'm just confused. There's so many things that has happened, and that is the thing that sometimes I just kind of want to take a break from social media. Kind of take a break from the whole thing, because I mean, let's be real, it's overwhelming. It's
Hmm.
overwhelming, the amounts of things that are happening, and then this is now changed to this, and this is now pronounced to that, and that's is, and you can't say this now. You have to say this with that and pronounce it with. I mean,
Yeah.
it's confusing.
Yeah.
So if someone out there can explain it to me, I would appreciate that a lot. But yeah, just confusing.
Yeah. I hear you.
You know.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, at the end, yeah. I mean, at the end, I I appreciate the fact that we are seeing different content. That we are having this opportunity to experience different stories, which is great. And I do
Hmm.
hope that we kind of continue on that same line, to kind of talk about a specific topics, or to either to that, or just to present like a fun film, or or like something about it with a new story. So I
Hmm.
appreciate the fact that they are kind of that they are presenting that, and I hope we have like this trend that keeps continuing forward, and we just stop doing remakes, because yeah, I'm sick of remakes, and I'm gonna say that publicly. I'm sick of remakes.
I know, like originalities is so much better. Like we need a lot more brilliant ideas. Um, yeah, I'm with you on that.
Some people say, yeah, but it's great if they are presenting like a remake to it because it's like that same feeling to that generation. But then I'm like, yeah, but doesn't have to be something that was already that was already made. You can create a new story for the new generations so they can feel related to it, they can have like
Right.
their thing. I don't remember back when I was a kid and they were saying like, oh, we're gonna do a remake of Back to the Future or things like that. It's a film from the 80s. It's a great film and people love it. People will discover it every day, and that's great. And I think that it should stay like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm with you. It takes away the greatness of it if you keep making remakes.
Totally, totally. So just stop with the remakes.
Just stop, okay?
Stop. You know. But yeah. Anyway, moving forward, tell me, how do you feel about the rise of short form content? Like what we see on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, basically everywhere at this point. Do you think that this will influence the type of content produced or the length of films and TV shows for the future?
I think it definitely will influence like the content of films and TV shows. The length, I don't think so. I don't really see it right now. But definitely like social media is like blowing up right now. Like it's crazy. Like it's such a massive platform where you can get attention and get known and like share your message and your voice. Um, you can make so many little short films or like videos, ideas, a story that can like someone sees something and it gives them an idea for anything. It's just a lot more public. So in that terms, I think it will influence a lot. Like social media will influence a lot more films and maybe ADS for other people, but I don't see it like becoming films and TVs. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. So I mean, I think there's room for everything, right? I mean, there's people who love short form content. It's great, and there's still people who love the big films or the lengthy ones. So it's great
Mhm.
that we still have this kind of a room for everyone, which is great, and to not only focus on one trend specifically. So yeah,
Yeah,
do you?
I've
Uh huh.
I've rarely seen like a half an hour movie.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen it's either like a movie or like a short film of like 5 or 10 minutes.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
So you prefer short form content, let's say.
It depends. It depends. It really depends. Yeah, I would say so.
Interesting. Oh, I like it. Do you do you remember when Vine was around? Do you think that those were kind of the pioneers of the short form content? What do you think?
I don't know Vine.
You never saw Vine, like that app that will make like 10, 15 seconds video, that most of them were kind of memes or things like that, that actually a lot of YouTubers uh came through that app and became YouTubers later on.
No, I don't know.
There's
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah. I mean
Huh.
it's back from 2012 maybe.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It must have been back when I had internet connected to the phone.
I mean, I remember that the iPhone 4 was around when when that came.
Oh wow. Huh.
Yeah.
No, must have been too
Crazy.
busy on set. Like honestly, there's like a few years that I was just like working, 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 working.
That's
So I
badass.
never watched the news or felt really disconnected to what was happening in
Hmm.
the outside world. So it must have been in that time frame.
Yeah, that's badass. Just let me tell you that on that time you were hustling. Respect for that.
Thank you.
Totally. That's badass. I think that is like one of the reasons why you're super badass.
Oh, thank you.
Totally. And right, tell me, as global politics, and social issues become more intertwined with entertainment, do you see actors taking on more activist roles in the future?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. I think it's definitely possible. There's politics is so much intense right now, especially in the States today, actually. Um, everyone, it touches everyone, and it's a bigger part of everybody's life. And so I think that it's, people will want to tell those stories or want to be heard about their point of view in regards to different
Mm.
opinions that they have. So yeah, definitely. I think that's definitely a possibility.
Do you think that we are, because due to this era, right, that we are like more connected, that everything is kind of super accessible, as back then, politics have become like a more trending topic for conversations for teenagers or things like that, as for example, back then when we were teenagers. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. 100%. Like when I was a teenager, like politics, I was like, what is that? Like I barely knew who was like the government, my own country. I knew, but like it was like no one had a lot of interest in it. As teenagers, obviously, but now it's huge. Like you can't escape it. It's so big. It makes so much noise in every country. So it's
Mhm.
definitely, some people don't want to talk about it because they're uncomfortable with it. But like I think definitely for teenagers, like for young adults, it's definitely uh it can be like couples break up because of differences of opinion and stuff like that. So
Totally, totally.
yeah.
It gets my attention the fact that, because as you were saying, that it is more accessible, that that kind of influenced the minds of kids, you know. And let's be honest, when you're a kid, you're super naive. I mean, you can't have like a specific ideal or something that you follow or support. So that is one of the things that gets my attention. That because it is more accessible, that has caused for more people to try to deliver on a specific message that perhaps they don't know the truth behind it, or perhaps they
Hmm.
actually don't know anything about it, but because they saw it on their favorite influencer or thing like that, they fully support it regardless if it is actually something positive or not.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that comes with social media. It's I would say, one of the downsides of social media. You get people influence, right? So there's a lot of that. If you say red and I like you, I'll say red. But you have to go find out by yourself. That's always, whatever it is, just go and find out by yourself. What is true for you is true for you. But on social media, it's like, you said it with outfits and like trends, like a trend, like on Instagram, like an audio trend. Someone decided that it was popular, so then everyone kind of follows the lead.
Mhm.
But that's social media, and it's definitely the same with politics. Especially the younger generation. You should absolutely just do your own research instead of just following blindly what someone else says.
Totally, don't be a sheep.
Yeah. Yeah, and I get that because I've been a sheep a little bit when I was younger too. When it kind of comes with like the level of maturity, but as you grow older, you just gotta grow up and just
Totally.
be more mature.
Yeah, it's part of the whole experience. I mean, I was a sheep too for some time. you know
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's just part of the whole experience. And I think it's necessary for you to have those kind of sheep moments, so then one day you start to get a mentality to as you were saying, you start to grow up, and then you start like, oh, okay, I don't support that because this and that. I prefer to support this because this and that. So
yeah. Exactly,
totally.
exactly.
And tell me, what do you think about cancel culture? Because here's the thing: do you think that, for example, actors, right, or musicians, sometimes they are not, yeah, they are not like showing their opinion on a specific thought because of the whole cancel culture, and they prefer to just remain quiet and just be kind of
Mhm.
off the radar. Like, what do you think about that?
For sure. Yeah, I mean, I can't say it for a fact because I don't know them personally, but I for sure, like, I can tell it's by sometimes watching an interview. It's like, oh, like they're probably being told not to say anything, or just stay quiet on things. Because when you have like so much people are looking at you, it's a lot of pressure. So you got to be careful of what you say and what you don't say. So
Mm.
um, only the few people that has the courage to just really say what they think, no matter what happens after, do. And there's very few people, you know. But it takes a lot of confidence, and you need to be a strong being just to put yourself out there and just, this is what I am, this is who I am, this is what I believe in. Um, and not a lot of people are like that.
Totally. Are you the type of people on this case that you like to express your opinion, or you prefer to just kind of, stay off the radar, let's say?
I express my opinion only if someone asks me to, then I'll gladly say my opinion. But I'm not gonna just like voice my opinion about everything and anything on social media. I don't I don't see the point of doing that. It creates a lot more um arguments, I would say. Like, I don't need to do that. Like, what's the point of doing that? Like, I'm confident in my opinion. I don't need anyone to validate my opinion. Like, I have my opinion. If someone wants to know my opinion, then sure, I'll share it. But I don't feel the need to just assert it out there.
Mm. Yeah, preach. I'll take it. Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's been several times on my end that I've been wanted to talk about things, that might be a little bit controversial. But as I'm thinking about that instantly, my head is like, why? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
What's the intention?
exactly. I mean, what's the attention to it? Because
What's the
I
point?
don't see the point to it. And who knows? Maybe an actor or someone that I've interviewed supports a different idea from me, and that's fine. And I think that's like the whole beauty to it when we are able to get along with each other, knowing that perhaps our ideals are totally opposite. But if we are able to connect and have a good conversation, and who knows, maybe to actually create a friendship to it, I think that's how it should be. Instead
Yeah.
of divide people, to be tolerant and be like, I'm having a conversation with someone who I know that if we talk about this topic, we might get into a fight or an argument. So I just avoid this because I value the person the way he or she is, and I want to keep it that way.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's what you got to do right there. And that's like the bigger person does that. But the person who wants to pick a fight and who's unhappy or, hold grudges will try to light fires and have arguments and stuff like that.
Totally, totally. I mean, there's some people out there who just want to see the world burn, basically.
Right. Yeah. Like, if I want to spread awareness towards something, then I'm going to voice my opinion. But I always ask myself, like, what's the intention behind it? Like, what do I want to do with that?
Mm, totally. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. And tell me, how do you think the role of importance of critiques and film critics will change in the digital area, in which basically at this point everyone can be a reviewer?
Right. Right. Oh man, good question. Film critique, does that still exist? I
Yeah.
guess. I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, maybe I'm blinded to the outside world, but um, the critiques online to me is like what most people say. It's the majority of what people say. When I want to know if a movie was good or not, I just go online and I read the reviews, right? So that will be I'll base my opinion off of that. So like a film critic, oh my gosh, like I'm thinking of like 50 years ago. Um, it probably already has influenced it a lot. Like you said, anyone can be a critique. Everyone voices their opinion on social media. So yeah, I think it'll change dramatically if it already hasn't.
Totally. Yeah. That's the thing here. I mean, I think that comes with the whole media to it, with the fact that it's super accessible. Now everyone can grab a microphone and talk about a specific film because they like it or not. And I think that it's up to you to decide either if you support their idea or not. I mean, I'm the type of person that I want to see both sides of both sides of it. I want to see the good side and the bad side, and
Mm-hmm.
then have like a conversation to that and be like, okay, so they like this film because this happened, and they didn't like this film because this happened. Then I will see the film and be like, okay, I either agree or disagree, and basically just keep moving forward.
Yeah, it's so personal. Like, I mean, to me, it's a bit like being a film critique. All right, but like, who critic the film, and they're seeing it through their perspective, their life baggages, their own experiences. It has nothing to do with you. So it's yeah, it's very different. Like, you always have to, everyone disliked it. Okay, well, I'm still gonna go like it because I want to see it, and I like this actor. It's very personal.
Yeah, I think that's a problem with critiques that most of the times they will go after the actors. And
Mm-hmm.
and when that happens, I'm instantly be like, no, I'm not gonna watch this and just find something else because, as I've been growing with this platform, you realize that that most of the times is not their actor's fault. Perhaps it was something, either the soundtrack was bad or a scene was recording bad or something about it that the actor was not able to control, but because they're the image to it, I think that is one thing that we should take into consideration, that because they are the image to it, they'll go only after it, you know?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
There's so much in a film. Like, there's so many people involved in a film. It's crazy. So it's a team effort. But of course, like, the face of the movie gets the review
Totally.
most of the
Yeah.
time.
I think we can finish this question by just saying, just don't be a dick.
Yeah. That
You know,
resume.
if you're gonna be a reviewer, just don't be a dick. If you like something, good. You didn't like it, or if you like it, fine. And move on. Don't take it personal because it wasn't. I mean, the idea wasn't to get. I don't think that a specific director creates a film to piss on a specific person. It's
Personal. Yeah.
totally not personal. Move forward with your life, do something else, and don't consume something that you don't like. Problem solved.
Yeah, 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 exactly. Exactly.
I like it. And tell me, as we are close to finish this year, right? And start
Hmm.
the whole 2025, tell me, what are some of the things that you expect for next year?
And my personal life, or in general, my personal life.
Yeah, let's go for a little bit of both, as you wish.
Um, a lot more production, a lot more travel for myself, a lot more dance, a lot of big projects, writing, a lot of writings that I'm doing right now. And yeah, just more, it's the pursuit of happiness, just more work on myself. Um, and it's, playing the game, getting better at the game to win at the game that we call life. So that's the plan for 2025.
There you go. Would you be, once this finish is over, would you be able to say, I like 2024, I did my best, or was it something there that you're like, I could have done more instead of, you know what I mean? Like how
Mm-hmm.
like how you feel about finishing this year.
Um, pretty good overall. I mean, I think we all have like years that are like better than others, or like slower years or busier years. Um, for me, this year was a little bit of a slower year, but just in the sense that um, there was a bit less travel, but a lot more growing. Um, Sometimes you don't always control everything in life. Like, there was things that I wish would have moved faster. There's a lot of cycles that I could get done a lot faster, but didn't happen. Yeah, but the important is that you persevere, and you keep going at your goals and your targets. And yeah, if I could look back at the year, I would say more less wasting time, even less wasting time. more what's the word? Discipline.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. Badass. Saying. And my last question, so we can
Yeah.
all enjoy and relax. So here it is. What do you think that could be the best title for this episode?
For this episode, it's funny. I'm watching the show Outer Banks right now. It's the first time I'm watching it, and I'm like really into it. So I only have that came to my mind. I don't know, for this show, maybe New Horizon.
New Horizon it is.
Traveling, expanding, you coming to Canada. I like that.
That was a good plan. So it's New Horizon then.
Awesome.
I mean, at the end, what can I say? The fact that you are, the fact that you're doing it, that you keep doing your thing here, working hard, doing your best as much as you can, I mean, I think that is incredible. Let me just close up my window because my dogs are barking like crazy. There you go. So yes, I was saying here, I mean, the fact that you're doing it, the fact that you keep pursuing it, that you're working hard, that you're doing your best here, I mean, that's super badass. I mean, that is one of the things that I do love the most about speaking again with people that I've interviewed in the past, and I'm not gonna lie, every now and then I will see what they're up to, and to see that they are either pursuing something, in their careers or pursuing something different perhaps, but they are on the path of doing what makes them happy. That is incredible. And I think that's proof enough for me to say that's why you're super badass. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I definitely do what I love, even though it's not always easy, but it's I love it.
Totally. And I'm super sure that our next conversation will be about the multiple projects you've been involved and
you're arriving to Canada.
Me arriving to Canada. So we'll see what happens. So I want to thank you so much for making this happen. I also want to thank those who stay the whole episode. Let us know what you think in the comments below, if you agree or not. But also, in the description below, as I was saying in the beginning, you're going to find all of Nohémie's social media. Let's follow her. Let's keep making her viral, which is with the hashtag Team Nohémie. And again, thank you for making this happen. Keep shining out there. Keep being this incredible, amazing, a badass person you always are. And I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right.